Now, what hope for easing tensions between the EU and the UK over post-Brexit trade rules in Northern Ireland? Well, David Frost, the UK Brexit minister, is meeting EU Commission Vice President Maros Sefcovic in Brussels today. Discussions concern the Irish Protocol, which erects a sea border between the province and the rest of the UK in order to keep goods flowing freely between the North and the Republic of Ireland, an EU member. The new arrangements have angered unionist communities and are believed to be one of the underlying factors fueling recent riots in Belfast and other cities. Well, for more on this, let's head to Brussels and speak to our correspondent, Maeve McMahon. Maeve, so these new arrangements have caused a lot of problems since they took effect at the start of the year. How much hope is there that the two sides can make progress now and try to sort things out?
Good morning, Alistair. Well, there's a feeling of cautious optimism that the issues around resolving the implementation of the Northern Ireland Protocol can be a solution, can perhaps be found. How, of course, to get those products from the UK into Northern Ireland, products like medicines, like steel, like various food products, with at least burden as possible. Now, the fact that David Frost, the British Brexit minister, is meeting with his counterpart here in Brussels, Maros Sefcovic, is already positive news. It means they have a document to work around. And we understand that the UK government has, in the last couple of weeks, sent over to Brussels a roadmap, so a timeline for implementation of that Northern Ireland Protocol, with, of course, more information on how EU officials could access databases and, of course, how these posts would, of course, be set up to implement these very checks. And the talks, of course, will also be around rebuilding trust between London and Brussels, which was broken over the last couple of weeks and months, with the UK, of course, extending the grace period of the Northern Ireland Protocol without consulting with counterparts here in Brussels, so doing it unilaterally. And, of course, many people in London upset with Brussels for triggering back in January the Article 16 of the protocol, only for a couple of hours, of course, and then announcing that it was a mistake. But, of course, there is tension between London and Brussels, let's face it, but those talks tonight taking place do hope to find a solution. That said, experts that I've been speaking to, like Anna Jarawska, a lady based in London and an expert on all things to do with customs and trade, said that these issues around the Northern Ireland Protocol were always going to be very complex. Let's take a listen.
The moment that the protocol was published, it seemed quite obvious that there will be challenges in terms of practical implementation of this protocol, because there's a lot that was not mentioned in the text. There was a lot that was left out, meaning that obviously there will be a need for a practical solution of how to then implement it. And this is where we last year saw the difference in interpretation, I would say, or different opinions between the UK and the EU on how this is supposed to be implemented. And unfortunately, it's as you mentioned, it's the people of Northern Ireland that end up paying the costs or paying the price for that ambiguity and lack of attention. But I think this problem in general should have been given more attention and more thought, perhaps, over the last 5 years, while also, stressing the fact that it's an incredibly complex, technically complex area. So, there was no easy solutions here.
And it's worth pointing out that there is no easy solution to this, because locals in Northern Ireland are deeply divided on Brexit, deeply divided on, of course, the Northern Ireland Protocol. The DUP, for example, the Democratic Unionist Party, are totally against the Northern Ireland Protocol. They feel it takes them too far away from the rest of the UK, and they've been out in the last couple of weeks drumming up support against the Northern Ireland Protocol in local communities. But then when you speak to businesses in Northern Ireland, they actually thank Brexit for putting Northern Ireland on the map. I spoke to one gentleman the other day who represents the business community in Northern Ireland. He said that countries now like Japan know about Northern Ireland and want to invest in Northern Ireland because they've heard about it so much over the last couple of years. They also are grateful that Northern Ireland will stay in the single market and can still trade with EU partners just like before. So they say they're open for business. They just want certainty to make sure that that business can continue. But of course, business representatives are not so emotional as, of course, politicians. And as you know, Northern Ireland is just so politically sensitive. It's so politically complex. And that, of course, has been flagged for the last couple of years among these talks, that Brexit would always be very destabilising for the province.